Welcome to Sports and Touring.
So we're going to see Miran, who is only 11 years old, possibly the youngest supercar spotter maybe in the world.
So we picked up Miran and he took us to see some incredible cars. But what we didn't tell you in that video is that today was about finding a car that's so rare that none of us thought we'd ever see it in our lifetimes. And to see it, we had to take a trip to Super Vettura, where we found the Lamborghini Reventón.
Just looks so good.
I just want to say that car sounds ridiculous and I love it.
It's crazy that when you came past us and you did a little downshift. It actually jump scared Miran a bit. It was that good.
Walk in, it's a Huayra P1 GTR, and normally, whilst cars of all forms give me all kinds of interesting feelings, and that sounds a bit weird, I know, but in this case, it's a valid statement because the Reventón actually caused like a little bit of flutter.
You know when you're in a dream and you see something and you kind of get out of that state, you're like, oh, this is actually a dream, this isn't real. I'm looking at that and I'm getting that same feeling in my brain, like this is a video, this isn't obviously to these guys it's a video. This is in my head, it doesn't look real yet.
I still can't believe this is real. There's only 20 in the world. I didn't actually think I would ever see one in my whole life, and it's literally in the same room as me. This is number 18 I think out of 20. Just looking at it, I've lost my words. I just can't stop looking at it.
I feel the exact same thing as you guys. But you know when they always say, leave the best till last. So I think let's have a starter and a main course first, and then go to that dessert later. This is a Porsche 964. I honestly don't know anything about this. One of my best mates is a Porsche fan. He loves 964s. I just sent him a picture of this. He started freaking out. All I know is it's a 1.5 million pound Beetle. 911, and it's called the Leichtbau. I don't do German, I'm sorry, but I'm sure it's some sort of super special, rare Turbo S. But the spec on it is amazing. I love the colour on the wheels. I felt like we would be doing the Porsche people injustice if we didn't mention this at some point, because it is, for it to be 1.5 million, and it's tucked all the way in the back. Like, I feel like this is one of those cars that you have to know it, and you have to love it to want it. Have you noticed that this Zagato has the red carbon accents going all the way along this side skirt, this straight here, and that whole rear diffuser? And I love this design of the tail lights on the Zagato. It's amazing. That's always been one of your favourite cars, hasn't it, the Zagato?
Oh, I love it. And you know what I like about it? It's got a really cool Z on it.
It does have a Z, and it does have red accents on it. So it's basic. You should buy one.
Yeah,
right?
I think I should get one, and I think I should take this to the Z beat that's happening at Ace Cafe in about a week from now. What do you think? Oh, take it. It's a Z. It's a Z.
Look at that on the grille. I've never noticed that before. The zigzag of the grille. That is just absolutely beautiful. Now, we saw one of these. It was a shooting brake version, however. We saw it at the Crown Cars and Coffee event with SCC, and we also saw it at the SCC event in Bristol, which was crazy. If that video isn't out, then you guys are ready for a good one, because it was crazy.
Now over here we have a very rare car. This is the Aston Martin GT12. Now, I don't think I've actually seen one of these in person before. I hadn't even heard of the car until I'd seen it on a Supercar Spotters channel one day, and seeing it in person, oh my gosh, I want this car.
Do you know what Aston Martin's done amazingly, right, with this car? So obviously it's very similar to the GT8 platform in the same way that they do the V8 and the V12 Vantage. But one of the things that I always commend Aston Martin on doing is their attention to detail. Like, look at this carbon work. The way that you've got the V-split in the carbon down the middle of this great big grille, and that V-split follows all the way down. So when you look from this top-down angle, you just get this one line going all the way through, and it's just, it's staggering. It's the kind of attention to detail where if I were running a car company, I would make sure that I would look at things like this. But there are very few companies that do carbon work better than Pagani. Here we have got a Pagani Huayra Roadster. I mean, just look at the carbon work here. It is unbelievable. Now, Miran was just pointing out all of the carbon bits on the car.
Carbon fiber with the Italian flag, because Pagani's from Italy. Nice. Carbon fiber. And inside the grille, carbon fiber.
Even inside there's carbon, and we were just saying, look how weird this grille design is, this geometric shape. It's so interesting. But then what thing did you notice, Miran?
You know how there's so much carbon fiber on the car? There's only one more thing where it can have carbon fiber. The charger. So the charger.
Even the trickle charger for this car
is carbon fiber.
Is carbon. And here is the P1 GTR. Now, as much as I love this, that GT12, the Porsche in the back, and the car just there that we're not going to look at yet, this is the car that I would drive. P1 GTR. It is the race version of the P1, track focused. This particular one has the one seat for the driver, it's got the different steering wheel, and the biggest visual difference is this massive fixed rear wing, swan neck design, and this rear end. Look at the coloration on this exhaust. This car has been used. Now, obviously, this doesn't have the grilling. This is the race car. This is the track focused one that the normal P1 has. So you can see everything, and it's quite cool because it reminds us of the 720 GTR that DDE have been building. We've obviously been fans of their channel for a very long time, and it's quite cool because you can really see where they've taken inspiration. Obviously, this car's a hybrid, so you've got the plug-in charge port, and that is no small trickle charger. Look at the size of that thing. Massive. I just noticed in the reflection behind me, there it is. Oh my god, this is actually like my first time properly looking at it. I've avoided it this whole time. This, I actually can't look at it anymore. I might start crying. I'm gonna hand it over to you guys. I'm actually gonna leave.
Honestly, it's like a stealth bomber.
Unreal. There's only 20 in the world, but this is number 18, so it's nearly number 20, which is quite special. So I'm gonna bring you guys right here to have a look at these wheels. Look how cool these wheels actually look. Oh, they don't seem like Lamborghini wheels. And then to open the door, you have to push down, and then that bit is gonna come off, and then you have to lift it up, and then obviously butterfly doors, Lamborghini style.
Composed myself a bit. I've come back. Honestly, dream car. Yeah, I don't think I'll ever be able to afford this car because it's already millions now. By the time it'll be multiple more millions. But this is the only one I can afford. I've had this since I was younger than Miran. I must have been like 9, 10. This is a little remote control car. I have no clue where the remote is. But just as we were leaving today, I was like, oh my god, I have this. So I had to bring it. And that's why I keep saying, like, this doesn't feel real. This feels like a game. It feels like it's a toy. Because when I see a Reventon, this is what's engraved in my mind, not that. So yeah, it's just absolutely crazy.
So the Reventon had a 6.5 litre V12 with around 650 horsepower. However, they did get this car up to about 211 miles per hour at one point. In my heart, it's a hypercar. By today's standards and by today's performance levels, that really wouldn't be enough by today's hypercar standards, would it?
I don't. This is the difficult question. Oh my god, Ferrari 430, sounding amazing. I think it has to be called a hypercar, really. This is like, there's only 20 of them in the world. At the time, it was pretty quick and it was expensive. And the looks of it, like, you can't get past the looks. Zondas are hypercars, and the old Zondas weren't fast. It has to be a hypercar, doesn't it, really? It's actually based off of the Murcielago, so you can see a few similarities, just the general shape of the car. I don't actually think it shares any panels. Even the roof up here, normally when you get these special editions they share like just the roof or just the door, but this roof has got this extra ridge here, and the doors have just got this completely different shape. But you can see even the way the handles come up are the same. These wing mirrors are similar, the general shape with the bat wings that come up, but these seats are actually the same bucket seats that you could get in the Murcielago SV, and the general dash, if you've seen pictures of this online, are very Murcielago-esque. But I think the biggest thing that this car made it fall in love with me, especially as a kid, were these wheels. Look at these carbon fiber blades that are added to the wheel, and you can kind of see like the way this is like very much a Lamborghini design, and it's just got these extra carbon. It's like, you don't need it, but we put carbon there anyway. One of the reasons I love Lamborghini is when they make these it's not a concept because they made them, when they make these special editions, they really show what their future design language is going to be. Like, look at these, the design here, this is all very Aventador. Even the shape of the light, obviously it's got squished and like turned a bit. It is basically an Aventador. The Murcielago was so smooth and soft, and they were like, alright, that's not what Lamborghini is going to be about anymore. Hard line, hard line, hard line, hard. This is the way that they showed what their new design language was going to be, and I love that Lamborghini do this. Even with the Sesto Elemento, the back of the Sesto has these, the diffuser, and the back of the car has these two distinct lines that come up, and they followed that on into the Huracan, which is when they switched obviously from the Gallardo to the Huracan. That is one of my favourite aspects about this brand, and that's why I'll always be a die-hard fan. That is us finishing at Super Vettura. Thank you so much to these guys for giving us access. They even opened the door of this Reventón for us. Thanks so much to Miran, because he actually set all of this up. Make sure you go and check out his channel. And if you enjoyed hanging out with us, please hit that like button, hit the subscribe button, hit the bell icon and choose all notifications. So we'll see you guys next time on Sports and Touring.